Hello there, people of the internet. How is everybody doing today? I am doing alright. Thanks for asking. So, I just made a video on why somebody might want an AR platform added to their collection. We talked about the customization, we talked about the caliber swapping, we talked about how it was such a good rifle for basically a general purpose, not necessarily do everything rifle, but a do most things rifle. So today we're going to talk about why somebody might want an AK47, simply because I feel like there's some significant benefits to something like this right here. So if you don't like to clean your guns, AK-47's the way to go. The way that this thing right here is designed, the design of it just lends itself to running for a very, very, very long time without needing to be cleaned, without having to suffer from any kind of malfunctions or anything like that. Unlike something like the AR, if you don't clean it every 1,000 rounds or so, then it starts to get significantly less reliable. So 7.62x39, which is what most of your AKs are going to shoot. You might find some AKs that fire 5.45 or 5.56, but the platform really shines in 7.62x39. That cartridge is like really capable out to about 400 yards. It can go beyond that, but 400 yards is about where I would put that limitation at. And that's fine, because most people can't shoot jack of anything beyond 100 yards. Most people have like pie plate accuracy at 50 yards. So having a rifle platform that can touch out to 400 yards is well within the realms of what most people are capable of. 7.62x39 is not a full power rifle round, but it's not a weak round by any stretch of the imagination. I would say that most things on the North American continent could be taken down with a 7.62x39. Even your larger game could probably be handled by this cartridge if you use a proper bullet and if you put the bullet in the right place, which is something that you would want to do in any sort of hunting situation. 7.62x39 is not an overly heavy cartridge, so you can carry a fair amount of ammunition, relatively speaking, in comparison to a full power round like, say, 30-06, which is another very popular cartridge out there on the market right now. So it's lightweight, it's light power in comparison to a full power rifle cartridge, but still powerful enough at the distances that most people would be using this cartridge at. And most people aren't going after large game anyway. I wouldn't necessarily recommend 7.62x39 for large game, but it could be done. On top of that, the ammunition is overwhelmingly available, not just here in the United States, but all across the world. It is one of the most popular cartridges. With it being such a simple rifle as well, I think there's only 8 moving parts in the entire rifle of the AK-47. There's not very much that can go wrong. The likelihood of this rifle jamming is extraordinarily small. It's a long stroke gas piston, which lends itself extraordinarily well to running reliably even in the most adverse of conditions. On top of that, 7.62x39 travels at about 2,400 or so feet per second. And with that slower bullet velocity, your AK barrels will last a very, very, very long time. We're talking probably about 15,000 rounds before you start seeing a real significant diminish of accuracy with these rifles. On most of your AKs, right here on the side of the receiver, we have a mounting platform, so you can actually stick a rail mount onto this thing and you can mount whatever optics it is that you want on it. If you want to have yourself an AK that can, you know, be fast and tactical and whatnot, then you can go ahead and mount yourself a red dot to it, maybe a red dot with a magnifier, so you have some zoomage. If you're taking your AK out hunting, like I do on a fairly regular basis with this exact rifle, as a matter of fact, I have a 3x9 scope mounted to a rail system, like a Picatinny rail system that mounts onto the side of the receiver, and it has served me exceptionally well. So with that 3x9 scope, I can touch out to distances that I normally wouldn't be able to see simply because I can't see very well. But those distances are still well within the realms of 7.62x39. This is an overwhelmingly simple gun to use. All you have to know how to do is put a magazine inside of the magazine well and rack this reciprocating charging handle, which again is very easy to see and pick up on, and you'll be able to load a round from the magazine into the chamber, and then all you gotta do is pull the trigger. This right here, this is a dust cover that also serves as a safety, and it is like the only other moving part on this gun. It is very easy to use. Most of your AKs have iron sights on them of some kind, and the iron sights are normally zeroed at the factory, so most people don't need to even worry about zeroing their sights. Unlike something like an AR, where if you go out and get yourself iron sights, you gotta take that out to the range and zero it in most instances, because most ARs don't come with iron sights. I don't know why, but that's just the way that it is. But these right here already come with iron sights that are already zeroed, so you don't necessarily have to worry about knowing how to zero a gun. This right here is just one of those rifles where you could really just give it to anybody, and it would continue to run, and it would be very easy to run. I think it was Kalashnikov that actually said that this rifle right here was soldier-proof because it's so hard to actually make it stop functioning. It's so hard to make it to where it won't reliably send lead down range. There's been examples of AKs that have been like dug out of the ground that are just horribly rusted into basically nothing, and then you kick the charging handle open, cycle around into the chamber, and the damn thing will run. It is amazing just how durable these rifles are. Now that being said, the big downside with the AK, if you get mud inside of the locking lugs of the AK or inside the fire control group while your dust cover is open, those are definitely points of failure on the AK. As a matter of fact, those are the most common points of failure on your AK. But the bolt is inside the receiver itself. It's not exposed on the top of the rifle or anything like, say, a Mini 14 or M1 Grand would be. Where's my Mini 14? There you are. If I grab... Could you calm down, sir? If I grab this right here and I show you the bolt is exposed right here. Like, these are the locking lugs on this thing. On top of that, we still have a big hole in the side of the receiver, too. So there definitely is some points of contention with the AK in terms of areas where funk could get in it, but it takes a lot of funk getting into this rifle to make it stop functioning. There's videos online of like people filling these things with marshmallows or bread or sausage or whatever it is that they feel like filling it with, and test firing it to see if the AK would in fact still run, and getting a whole lot of examples the AK does in fact still run. I think it was actually Brandon Herrera who actually took one of these, and he buried it in the mud for like a month, and then he pulled it out of the mud and shot it like it was brand new. These are extraordinarily durable rifles. And on top of that, they're in a cartridge where, like, it is very much an ideal cartridge for the average person, just because of average capabilities and what the average person might need a rifle to do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I had fun making it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't or mainstream.